record this directly to YouTube. Anyway, I've got it reamed out. I've got it threaded. Put the little plunger in there and had air to it and rolled the motor around till it blew out. I checked it with a mechanical grabbers down in the hole to see how far the piston was down, and the piston is not at the very bottom of the cylinder when the two valves are closed. I figured on fire stroke, when both valves are shut and it slams down, you could get it to the bottom while the two valves are closed, but undoubtedly the exhaust valve starts opening before the thing gets all the way to the bottom, so that should be intake stroke or exhaust stroke, you know. So anyway, it's not all the way down and you got to be careful. It didn't come with the knee clip on the threader, so I put one on there to make sure I didn't go too far. The reamer's got a stop on it, but the newer kits that you buy don't have a stop on the threader, so you got to be careful. It's a lot of material to cut out. It's a 1/2 inch, basically, a quarter on each side, so you got to put a good bit of pressure on it and keep grease. And I got a good bit of threads on all my grease and all my cutting oil. I've been trying to clean my whole hole out and get all the oil out of it, and I made me a bendable wand here out of old cheap Campbell Hosfeld air blower and a bunch of brake clean. And after I blew it out, I stuffed a rag down in there and pulled it back out. My thing would be use a cloth rag, not a paper rag. They tear sometimes. I got it all out, but I'm gonna have to get my head in between that little opening, and that is not, it's about 1 foot if you get down to it, but you gotta be able to turn your head, and I gotta get my big old body up on this motor here, and I ain't got a bore scope, and I gotta make sure the threads are clean and there ain't no oil on it. I don't mind using a can or two, making sure and cleaning it out. I'll run me a couple more rags down in there and swipe it, and it's been oily because the grease and the oil, and it blew out, so it got oil from the motor up in there too. So gotta clean it, gotta clean it, gotta clean it, gotta clean it. And then the Loctite's got to be put on after it's cleaned and put down in the hole and sit for 24 hours, which ain't no biggie. It's only a few 10-20% chance of rain tonight, which it's gonna get cold, but I don't know if that'll affect it or not. But I don't mind shutting it and buttoning it up and leaving it sitting here for a few days to make sure it's dry. But I gotta make sure it's cleaned out, and it's starting to get colder. It's dropped 15-20 degrees in the last hour and a half, sun going down. So let me get my butt up in here and get this thing, see if I can get my head in there to see how clean it is. Let me grab a couple of rags. But the reamer and the threader worked. I used some high temp grease because it was a lot stickier. I don't know where I got that. I've had it for a long time, but it's red high temp. But here's my little E-clip I put on this thing to keep it from going down in there. It spread out a little bit because it's a cheap one, but it got it reamed out. Done cleaned it up, and the guide and all works. So I've got my spark plug with the anti-seize on it, because, and I also got tape on my socket, but I got anti-seize on my spark plug into the thing. I have not put my thread locker on it because I want to make sure hole's clear and clean first. I can't start it down in there and then back it out and hope it stays on the plug, because I put anti-seize on the plug where it wouldn't seize up. So it'll be a one-shot thing once I get it started, and hopefully this ain't too fat to get down in there and come back out. I don't think it is. These plugs are 9/16, no, 5/8 instead of 9/16. The 3 valve I think are 9/16. These are 5/8 socket, and the big Ford socket is what, 7/8. Let's see here, 13/16. That's the big old school 46s, 45s, 44 plugs for the FE Ford motors, and Y blocks I think, but that's the big spark plug, and the other one is for 5/8. The 9/16 are the new ones. The plugs for this thing are, let's see, these right here, F-250s. Let's see if I can focus. There you go. SP-479 Motorcrafts, AGS F-22WM. These are FEs. This is F-250, same number. Those are Focuses. Bobcat, F-250, FEs. So anyway, alright, let me get back to it. I'll update you as soon as I get it threaded in there and locked tight. If I don't tonight, we'll do it tomorrow. Like I said, starting to get cold, so I gotta get this thing down in there. I gotta make sure it's clear. Alright, appreciate it.